Well, this is an application for the Tucson Folk Festival 2025. I'm Joe McCarry, and this is The Heart of the Appaloosa. It's written by Fred Small, and it's about the Nez Perce Indians. Chief Joseph, who also took the name Thunder Rolling in the Mountains. Their horses, spotted horses, which are called the Appaloosa horses. So the heart of the Appaloosa. From the land of the shooting waters to the peaks of the Coeur d'Alenes, the huckleberries and the forests out grazing on the plain. The people of the Coyote made their camps along the streams of the green Wallowa Valley when fences had no name. Well, they bred a strain of horses, the treasure of the tribe, who could tote upon a ridge or gallop up a mountainside, who could haul a hunter's burden, turn a buffalo stampede. The horse that wore the spotted coat was born of matchless speed. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. In the winter came the crowded ones, near frozen in the snow, bringing firearms and spyglasses and about to save the soul. Well, the people gave them welcome, nursed them till their strength returned, and they studied their talking papers, its mysteries to learn. In the shadows of the mission sprang up farms and squatter towns. The plains were lined with fences, cloud blades split the ground. In the shallows of the clear water, gold glittered in the pan, and word would come from Washington, remove thee in the end. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. Well, the chief spoke to his people in his anger and his pain. I am no more Chief Joseph, rolling thunder is my name. They condemn us to a wasteland, a barren soil and stone. We'll fight them if we must, but we'll find another home. Well, they fled into the Bitterroots, an army at their heels, and they fought at Whitebird Canyon, they fought at Misery Hill, till the colonel saw his strategy, and he sent his order down: shoot the Appaloosa wherever they be found. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. 1,200 miles retreating, 3 times over the divide. The horse their only safety, the reason they're alive. 3,000 Appaloosa perished with the tribe. The people and their horses were dying side by side. Thunder rolling in the mountain set my heart is sick and sad. Our children now are freezing, the old chief's all dead. The hunger takes our spirit, and our wounds are deep and sore. From where the sun now stands, we will fight no more. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. St. Oklahoma, where malaria ran riot. Still more died of a broken heart for the land that gave them life. And the man once known as Joseph, that death was heard to say, we've given up our horses, and they have gone away. But sometimes without warning, from a dull domestic herd, a spotted horse with courage, wondrous will emerge. Strong it is and fearless, and nimble, and listening for thunder, the Appaloosa's living still. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. So that's the Heart of the Appaloosa by Fred Small. And this is Ed Lipton's song about an unusual pet, a rhinoceros. My rhinoceros. And the song has a chorus. My rhinoceros, he has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. And not only can you sing along on that chorus, but when you get to the part about has such a beautiful smile, you can smile along too, and you're better looking when you smile. My rhinoceros, he has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. My rhinoceros gets silly when we go for an auto ride. If he doesn't want to go with us, he runs to his room and he hides. My rhinoceros, he has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. My rhinoceros loves donuts, he eats them every night and corn, but he doesn't have any pockets, so he carries them around on his horn. My rhinoceros, he has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. My rhinoceros gets happy, and he wants to dance and play. But when a rhinoceros starts dancing round his room, it's best we stay out of the way. My rhinoceros, has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. My rhinoceros gets dirty, Mama tells him to scrub, but there is no room for the water when my rhinoceros hops into the tub. My rhinoceros, he has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. My rhinoceros gets sleepy, and he goes to take him a nap, but he wants me to read him a story, and he wants to sleep in my lap. My rhinoceros, he has such a beautiful smile. My rhinoceros, but he smiles only once in a while. And then this is Tumble in the Wind by Jackson C. Frank. He really did lead a very tragic life, but what matters really in the end, I guess. I seem to tumble in the wind, and I wait for it to begin. But when I look at you, I ain't too proud to say that I once loved a girl this way. Well, I'll bring trouble on my lonesome self, and I'll see danger in every offer of help. The times are hard and the money just won't come through, and I'd be alone if not for you. Well, they brought me in a flat car down from old Hong Kong, tried to tell me what I was doing was absolutely wrong, tried to make me over into a man of steel, but I knew I would have to kneel. From the plains of Alberta, where the wheat grows so wild and strong, I rode o'er the Northland till I got to Saskatchewan. From a hardback in my satchel, I read the words quite clear: come home to your loved ones now, winter time is near. But I tumbled with the wind, and I wait for it to begin. But when I looked at you, I ain't too proud to say that I was once loved by a girl that way. And then this is the legend of El Tiradito. Send him up to heaven, send him down below. Leave him where he fell. Split right down the middle, from his head way down to his toes. What do we do with El Tiradito? Before he was a sinner, and before he was called El Tiradito, Juan Olivares tenderly herded his sheep on the ranch of Don Hugo near Tucson, Arizona. Senorita Sahara, Don Hugo's daughter, played among Juan's sheep. She hoped that someday Juan might care for her, at least as much as he did his lambs. Well, Sahara grew up, and as she grew up, her beauty grew with her. And sure enough, Juan learned to love her at least as much as he did his sheep. They happily fell in love. Send him up to heaven. Send him down below. Leave him where he fell. Split right down the middle, from his head way down to his toes. What do we do with El Tiradito? Well, happy Juan, happy Sahara, happy Dona Dolores and Don Hugo, the parents of the bride. And yes, Juan and Sahara were married. Uh-oh. But Donna Dolores understood easily why her daughters would fall in love with Juan, and why not say it, the earthy, tender but fit young Juan. And Juan was captivated by Dolores, for he found in her so much of what he loved in Sahara. By falling in love with Dolores, Juan broke the rules of love. Send him up to heaven, send him down below, or leave him where he fell, split right down the middle, from his head way down to his toes. What do we do with El Tiradito? Well, Don Hugo surprised Dolores and Juan, playing a game somewhat similar to wrestling. And Juan, dressing as he ran, was caught by Hugo in the streets. With one swing of his axe, Don Hugo split Juan right down the middle, from his head way down to his toes. And he left him where he fell, in the streets. Send him up to heaven, send him down below, or leave him where he fell. What do we do with El Tiradito? Well, Juan could not be buried in any Tucson cemetery. No respectable family could rest in peace next to a sinner like Juan. So Juan was left where he fell, in the streets, tossed aside like a piece of garbage. And from that day on, Juan has been referred to as El Tiradito. Send him up to heaven, send him down below, or leave him where he fell, split right down the middle, from his head way down to his toes. What do we do with El Tiradito? No stars, no moon, as darkness conquered the light. Strange things happened that night, and the morning revealed a freshly dug grave where Juan fell. And on that darkest of nights, and still to this day, in the night is found wax burned from candles and stains of the ground where Juan fell. Flowers are left with prayers written for the souls of those who died mortally in love. In the streets, in our town, at the altar, in honor of our own El Tiradito. The legend of El Tiradito. Thank you.